So good morning, everyone. We're going to get started. We are here today to talk about the Big Connect 2021. Woo! Exciting. So today we're here for our booth camp. We're going to learn all about all the benefits, features, reasons why to exhibit. So what is the Big Connect? The Big Connect really, in my own terms, is a wonderful way to connect with your audience, with your potential business partners, with new customers. This Big Connect is the largest that we know of, the largest business-to-business expo that happens every year in the state of Connecticut. It has become Connecticut's premier business expo. This business expo has been happening since the early 90s, and it's changed locations a couple of times, but it is the place to make connections. So whether you're a small business, medium-sized business, a large business, working in the government sector, nonprofit, for-profit, institutional, higher institutions of educational learning, the Big Connect is where you want to be to connect with your constituents and connect with personal friends even and professional potential leads. The Big Connect is happening again this year on November 18th. Thursday, November 18th, that's the Thursday before Thanksgiving. It'll happen right here at the Omni New Haven Hotel at Yale. That's where I'm standing right now. And today we're going to explain all the reasons to be in the Big Connect. So as you see here on the screen, it doesn't matter if you have a lot of LinkedIn connections or Facebook likes or followers, you still want to be at the Big Connect because why? Nothing really beats the in-person connections you're going to have. And we're going to talk to you about maximizing those in-person connections. And then we're also going to talk to you about our hybrid approach that you're going to take full advantage of when you purchase your booth. So let's listen to a video from the last Big Connect that we had in person in 2019.
Really, as the name says, it's about connecting, networking, and building relationships.
I've had so many conversations this morning that have been really helpful to me in building relationships with future partners.
In the first 6 months of this year, more businesses were established in Connecticut than any other time in our state's history.
Know who you are, what you do, how you can help them, and what kind of a connection you're looking to make.
If you want to stop wasting time networking, you're in the right place, because I really want to help you do that.
A great opportunity to introduce who we are and what we do to people who haven't had the chance to come visit us yet.
We're really here meeting, networking, like-minded small business, small, medium-sized businesses.
So I would definitely recommend attending the Big Connect.
Okay, so you heard directly from some of our exhibitors and speakers and authors that were part of the Big Connect last time we were here at the Omni in 2019. So again, you heard the excitement, you saw the activity buzzing in the video. It's going to be even better this year. So another slide here to talk to you about why to exhibit. So as I said earlier, it's really about helping you generate leads, networking with professionals, your professional colleagues, attending a workshop the entire day. We actually will take over, the Chamber of Commerce takes over the entire floor here at the Omni Hotel, New Haven Hotel at Yale. We start at the ballroom, which we're going to go on a little tour after this. We own this entire mezzanine floor and all of these workshops down the hall. And we leverage these workshops to the hilt. with speakers. We've had national speakers in the past, we've had local speakers, we've had authors, we've had inspirational speakers, we've had really practical, scientific, specific speakers that talk to a niche audience about a variety of topics. So whatever it is that you're looking for, I believe you will definitely find it. I'm not just really doing a good sales pitch, but really we have a top-notch expo planning committee, and we search the news, we look at the trends, we read a lot of business publications to ensure that we are presenting the topics that are meaningful for your business. So I want to really stress that. It's also a way to build clientele, and again, have fun, because you're going to be here all day. We start at 7 a.m. in the morning with a nonprofit breakfast. We go directly into workshops. The booths are open all day, literally from 7 until 4. In the middle of the day, we have something called the Big Taste, where we have local New Haven area restaurants come and share samples of some of their most delectable cuisines. So really, it's an all-day affair. And then we close everything up with a big bash, where we have drinks and network yet again. So everything is all about networking. It's all the big connect. So here's what you get as an exhibitor at a booth. And we actually have a booth, a mock booth, behind me there in this room. And so if you want to turn and look at that, I'm going to explain. So you either will have an 8-foot wide booth or a 10-foot wide. If you have a 10-foot wide booth, that will be along the perimeter in the ballroom on this floor. If you have an 8-foot wide booth, that's going to be an internal booth. So those are the two options, 8-foot wide or 10-foot wide. Booths have draped sides and backs. You can see example of the side there of the drape, and then you see the back. And I just want to highlight that these are high backs, and it really, we're doing that intentionally because it really gives the effect that this is your own sort of little fiefdom, your own kingdom on the exhibit floor for you to own, and you can really do whatever you want in that space. And we have a presenter later on to talk to you about maximizing that space and really making it your own, and really making it a place that's going to be attractive and alluring to people that are walking by. You'll get 2 chairs, so for people who are staffing the booth. 2 chairs for you to rest periodically. We don't advise you to sit for a long period of time because you're going to be active and talking to people, but you still nevertheless have 2 chairs. You have an identification sign, so we'll definitely talk to you about signage in the future, but you just have a basic identification sign. So if you have nothing, for example, and you forget it for some reason the day of, at least people will be able to tell what business you are. You'll have a listing in our show program. It's going to be a digital show program. We probably have a few limited print programs as well for people that are here. We'll have a link to your website on our Big Connect website, and that'll stay for a long time. So even beyond the Big Connect, you're still going to get exposure to your booth and your business. And then what we're doing today is we have a series of pre-event booth workshops. So this is one of them. We'll have a second one on October 8th, and we might have a few others depending on the needs of our potential exhibitors. Okay, booth trivia. So people always tell me when they come to trade shows, exhibitors tell me, how do I make sure that everyone's going to stop by my booth? You know, it's busy, there are multiple booths, I want to make sure that people are going to stop by my booth. So we're going to talk to you a little later on about how to make sure that your booth content is attractive and how you get people in your booth and what you can do to talk to them once they get there. But this is making sure they at least stop by. So this is booth trivia. So with booth trivia, we're going to ensure that people stop by your booth, so you get the foot traffic, and they're going to learn a little bit about your business. So you're going to tell us when you sign up for your booth something about your business that's interesting and compelling, that's going to be used in booth trivia. So people who stop by your booth will answer a question, and once they successfully complete that booth visit and answer the question, they go on to the next one and visit all of the booths and answer the questions correctly or entered into a drawing. And last time, I think the drawing was for a big, large screen TV from PC Richards. So it's going to be something really compelling and exciting that people want to win. So they're going to want to be part of this whole booth trivia process. So I think this is going to be really, really good for our exhibitors this year. Okay, I also alluded to earlier a virtual booth because again, we're going hybrid in 2021. So with our virtual booths, you get the in-person, which we talked about, and then you get the virtual booth. So with the virtual booth, it's a customized space online, and I'm going to show you a demonstration after this. It includes your logo, your company description, a link to your website or your social media page, because we know that not every business has a website. You can either put photos or live video or pre-recorded video, and there really is no length to the, no limit to the length of the video, but we encourage that video is like maybe 30 seconds or no more than, I would say no more than a minute and a half to be safe. You also have a link to your email address and a map to your business location. So if you have a brick and mortar business location, we will have a map that links and gets people to your business. In addition, if you have your already produced 30-second spot video, as I'm looking into the audience, I see someone who does have the 30-second pre-recorded video already. We are going to be playing that video online for the exhibitors throughout the day. So as we transition from speaker to speaker and session to session, we'll be playing those short clips of video. So you're going to get exposure that way as well. We'll also feature and post you on our Chamber social media platforms. We have over 3,000 followers just on Facebook. If you think about LinkedIn, we have over 1,200. Twitter, we have over 1,200. And then there's also Instagram. So although we did not spell it out here, you will be featured in all of our social media platforms. So that's, again, additional exposure that's really good for your business. And last but not least, Big Connect Marketing Toolkit. So we will make sure that you have an expo logo and information that lets people know when they get to your website or your social media page that you are participating in the Big Connect. It's helping you sell people to let them know and educate them, gotta come by the Big Connect because you don't want to miss it because I'm gonna be there, my business is gonna be there. So your logo is also gonna be featured in our digital program, and it's gonna be emailed to all of our chamber members, so not just Greater New Haven Chamber, but the Quinnipiac Chamber of Commerce. So when you look at that, that's an email database of 6,000 plus emails. And these are confirmed email addresses. So we've taken out the bounce backs, we've taken out the email addresses that don't work. These are confirmed 6,000 email addresses. We're really, really proud of that. Because again, that's giving you good exposure, good reach. We'll include you in our press release that's going to regional media outlets. And we do everything. We do radio, television, gas. 1 year we did the gas pump videos as well. So we're going to be everywhere where people consume media and get information. And then inclusion in our expo promotional footage with local media. So we, from time to time, will partner with WTNH News 8, and they will also talk about coming to the Big Connect and all the reasons to be here. So this is a little demonstration I'm going to share with you now of the virtual booth. Okay, so as you can see here, we're online, and these are all booths. All of these squares or rectangles are all booths. So look at the variety of companies that are here. And let's stop it by one booth. Let's stop by the chamber booth. So here we go, we're stepping into the chamber booth, and we see a place here where we have our pre-recorded video. That's the video I spoke about earlier. That's the one I said there is no limit to the length, but I would advise 30 seconds to maybe a minute and a half. We have the company description here, link to the email address, the phone number. We have handouts. You have handouts that you would want to give, the same handouts that you might want to give in your personal in-person booth, you can give here as well, on the virtual booth. And again, just showing all, and then we go to aligning. Let's go to a different booth. And this is showing you promotional offers. So if you want to raffle something or give a discount to something, that's where you put the promotional offers. We're showing you the chat on the right here. Okay, booth pricing. So this is the money slide. But when you think about it, it's really an investment in your business. It's an investment in you. And we know that In order to make money, sometimes we have to spend a little money. So we've got some good discounted pricing for you all. So between now and our deadline is August 31st, we're taking off, reducing it by $150. So booth discount by $150. So the 8-foot wide booth, if you remember, would be $795. 10-foot wide booth, $995. And then the non-member prices are there accordingly. So we urge you, if you have any questions, we're all available as staff to help you and to guide you on any questions that you have. Deadline again is August 31st. We often, of course, when you consider the times that we're in now, get questions about COVID and how this is gonna all look. Well, obviously, as one of my colleagues always tells me, we don't have a crystal ball. So what we can do is just do what we can do to ensure that everybody is comfortable at least. We can't ensure that everybody's gonna be, safe, quote unquote, but we can do all the things that we can do within our control to make sure we're following the guidelines and that everybody feels comfortable. So we are diligent in that. So we have, as I mentioned, we'll produce this as a hybrid event, and we're gonna take the following precautions. Masks will be provided, so if someone doesn't have a mask, we have masks for them available, and they'll be worn throughout the event. We've got hand sanitizer available, and we'll have stations throughout the floor, because as I said, we have the entire mezzanine level. We'll have directional signage to maintain traffic flow and encourage social distancing. And again, I mentioned the virtual component. So if for some reason, the rules and mandates change and we can't get together in an in-person setting, we have the virtual booth for our exhibitors, and you'll still get the exposure that you deserve and that you worked hard for. So that's very, very important. So I'm now gonna bring up my colleague, Madison Caruso, and she's gonna talk to you about pre-show planning.
Good morning, everybody. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about pre-show planning and what you need to do in order to get ready with your booth. We're sort of moving on to the section that you've assumed you're already buying a booth, and this is what you need to do to make it successful. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is generating traffic. Advertising the expo is just as important to us as it is to you. The more people we can get in the door, the better off it'll be for all of us. So that's sharing social media posts and maybe if you have a network of email addresses, sharing with them that you're going to be there and this is worth attending. The other thing that's really important is to visualize your booth, making sure that you know what it wants to look like, and the branding that you display at your booth is indicative of your company's message and what you want people to know about your business. You want to be thinking about things like displays and handouts, cards, flyers. A lot of people will do things like discounts to get people in the door for attending the event, anything that's going to generate traffic post-event. One of the other things that people often do is they'll do giveaways. It's another way just to get people to talk to you a little bit longer and hold their attention for a little bit longer, capturing leads. And then how to succeed with your booth. It's important to staff multiple people. Ideally, you would have multiple people approaching your booth at once. So to make sure that you can evenly distribute conversations amongst groups is really important. Know your business, know what you want to say in the way that you dress, in the way that you speak about your business. It's all really important to creating an overall atmosphere when those people are at your booth for 5-10 minutes, however long it is. Reciting an elevator speech. If you don't know what I mean by that, elevator pitch is something, a 30-second spiel that you should have. If you were going to be stuck in an elevator with the most important person to your business, what would you say to sell them? And you should be treating every single person that approaches your booth with that sort of importance. That's a good way to maintain even branding and making sure that every attendee knows that they're important and why they should come back. And being scripted versus non-scripted. So, especially if you're sending someone that's relatively new to your company to the Big Connect, it's really important that maybe you have something that is a little bit scripted if they don't necessarily know all the background. That being said, you don't want to sound like too monotone or that it's not going to be able to connect with different types of audience. So it's important to sort of find that balance and just make sure that the people who are going to the Big Connect know how you want your business to be represented. And then I'm going to be introducing Ashley Parker from Demers Events and Expo Services. They're going to be the ones that are providing everything for the booth. So she'll give you a little bit of an overview on how to make an impact.
Good morning, I'm Ashley with Demers Events and Expo. And behind me we have our booth setup. We have a 6-foot table with our 8-foot pipe and drape and our 3-foot side rail. When we're introducing potential customers to our booths, we want to be inviting. There are a couple of options of how you can set your table. You can have your table directly in front of your customers, where you can lay out marketing materials, samples, giveaways. You can place your table to the side along the side rail, and that allows people to walk into your booth. It's more inviting. You can have the table all the way to the back. If you have items to sell, you can put on a display, and then you can store your empties underneath your table skirt. Another option is to raise your table. So you can raise a 30-inch table to bar height at 40 inches so that you're at an even eye level with your customers. If you're presenting something on a computer, you can take advantage of our show special, which is a cocktail round. You can upgrade your standard rectangular table to a cocktail round, and you can be on the level where you can show your laptop and your presentations to your potential customers for an additional $75. This table is usually $275. Another way to stand out is with branding and with your signage. You'll get a 7 by 44 inch booth ID sign that goes along the back drape. You can also utilize items like pop-ups or meter panels, and these graphics start at $9 a square foot. The ballroom has beautiful carpeting, but in order to stand out, if you have company colors like us, wear red, you can add a red show carpet to your booth space. If you're an agriculture company, you can use green. If you're a pool company, you can use blue. You want to stand out as much as possible and draw the eye in, and then you can bring each guest to your booth.
So we've talked about all the different ways, and thank you, Ashley, for talking about all the different ways to really take advantage of the booth and make it your own and make it appealing and attractive for people to stop by and feel comfortable once they're there and have a few-minute conversation with you. These are just a few images of what we've shown, and we have our own Ray Andrewson in one of the photos here. In one of the booths, he was chatting with 2 people. I think that's Glenn McDermott from Red Rock Branding. But these are just examples of what the exhibitors did with their booths. You can see in the Subway booth, they have a wheel. So that's a good way to get people to stop, and pay attention and play with the game. And as they're playing with the game, then you can interact and talk with them. We've got Southern Connecticut State University. They did what Ashley suggested about putting their booth, the table more to the back, so it's created sort of an open booth. And then in the bottom left there, where we see Glenn and Ray standing. I think that's also an open booth where they're deciding to have the space or communicating with their potential leads and clients in front. And then the next booth there as an example, I think that's, I don't know, I can't see which booth that is there. But again, they have a game or some kind of vehicle to attract attention there on that front table. So again, it's sometimes, you might think it's gimmicky and it's corny, but really it's strategic. It's ways to get people to stop by your booth, because once they stop by the booth, then it's your opportunity to give them the story, to tell them your story and why they should take advantage and pay attention to your business. So I will now have my next colleague come up and talk to you about just all the things that you should do and not do on the day of. So Dina Nicole Blifford.
Good morning. How is everyone today? Good. Good. See, engaging, enthusiasm, energy, excitement, right? So I am a theater person by profession, by nature, by training, and I know not everyone has that skill set. It's a difficult skill set. But I think to Maddie's point that we had discussed earlier, if you have your kind of scripted components and your unscripted components, right? If you go with your maybe new employees that are maybe not as knowledgeable as your old employees, like maybe mentor them and have them have conversations. And that actually kind of teaches you and trains you to have those conversations with new clients and potential leads that you'll meet at the Big Connect. So enthusiasm, I know I'm actually keeping my mask on for a purpose, because I think now when we're all a little rusty, right? We're a little out of practice with being engaged and in person with people. So masking, I think it's probably in November, we're probably gonna be in the same situation or just the same safety protocols that we have where we have masks on. So I think showing enthusiasm, energy, and excitement, you have to give it a little more oomph, right? Because we have a little bit of a barrier. So I think making sure you're using really good eye contact. I'm trying to look at you all right now. And just ensuring, I think being genuine also is a really important thing. Knowing your product, obviously you're working for your company, but knowing what are some really good, maybe get some personal stories from your clients that you have currently, things to show enthusiasm, energy, and excitement. Great. These are all seem really, really simple, but they're actually incredibly good tips and tricks. So make a great first impression. Like I said, I think using your eyes and using your enthusiasm to bring people to the table is a fantastic way to start. Fresh breath, go. It's great. Masks help too, I suppose. But I know I'm actually out in my purse right now, but I don't have mints, and I'm like, that is on top of my list because it's very important to set that good first impression. We're professional and comfortable shoes and clothes. I think to Maddie's point that she said earlier, we're gonna be here all day, right? We wanna be great representatives of our businesses, but you also wanna be comfortable so you can have those really engaging and personal conversations. Also, make sure you're dressed to represent your band. That's the same thing. Make eye contact, smile with the crowd. Again, I think that's, it's hard. I know it's a little bit more difficult now because we are A, out of practice, B, we're probably gonna be wearing masks. But I think even, you can, I said, as a theater person, you can even have your long-term employees and your maybe newer employees have conversations together to kind of like practice what those would be. And one thing that I know from tabling a couple times, one thing that makes me crazy is your phone. Your phone can be a really great tool, but it can also take you away from potential clients. So as you're sitting at the table throughout the day, just make sure that that's not becoming something that's detracting attention away from like engaging people, because you can engage someone from across the room just with eye contact. So use that wheel, get them in there, and then engage them when they're there. Incredibly important. Don't forget personal business cards. I know I always have my chamber ones now. Make sure you have a full water bottle. We do have items here throughout the day. We will make sure we have a nice room for you to like rest and relax, and that's why we said make sure you have enough people to man your booth so you can take breaks to rest and recharge, grab something to eat, make sure you're hydrated, probably check those emails in a different room, not at your table, and bring a notebook and record important connections or takeaways. That is incredibly important. You don't want to have this amazing connection with someone and then say, oh my gosh, I don't remember their name, or what did we talk about, or did I say I would email them? I think that's incredibly, incredibly important. Follow up with your new connections before Thanksgiving. That's a really good mark, right? Because after Thanksgiving, we all kind of turn off, right? So send that email, add that contact to your customer management system, call them, or even say, sending them a thank you. Thanksgiving is actually a really great opportunity to say, thank you so much, it was great to meet you. I hope you have a wonderful holiday and some time off. So really easy, simple ways to follow up before that break. And what not to do. So, and I think the top one here is incredibly important, ignoring personal space, especially in the times that we're in. And Tamika alluded to that we will have traffic patterns and assist people in keeping those spaces clear. Negative body language, knowing when to engage with someone is incredibly important, and knowing when to disengage with someone is incredibly important. Have to read body language, and again, with masks, it's a little bit more difficult, but when to kind of, excuse yourself, say thank you so much for your time, and excuse your guest. Too much information, you're here as a business representative. We're not to the social part yet. Maybe you'll make connections later on when we mingle later on, but I think when you're at your booth, you you're representing your business and you want to keep that a professional relationship, let's not bash the event. You know, we're all here to have a great time and to make those connections and not preparing last minute. Like I said, I think it doesn't take a lot of time, but just making the time, that little bit of time to prepare for the event. And of course, not following up with connections. It's very easy. If you've written it down and gotten those business cards, it should be incredibly simple to follow up.
We're going to take a little tour and we're going to show you the ballroom where the exhibit halls will be, where the exhibit booths will be in the ballroom. And then we'll go through and kind of show you some of the workshop rooms where we're going to have these sessions all day and where we're going to have the big taste. Thank you so much. And now we're going to go to our tour. This is the mezzanine, so we're going to own this entire space. And there are rooms along this hallway. So the York room that we just came out of, the church room, I'm not sure if these are, the doors might be locked, but these are all the rooms where all the workshops are taking place. So again, people coming here in the hall, gathering, another room here. An example of easel and directional signage that we'll have, and information about our protocols. This hallway here will be for the big taste, so we'll be down in the temple room and some other rooms that way. So again, there are a lot of conference rooms around the corner. This is where people will come out the elevator to the mezzanine level. And this is the big foyer. So this is where you will come in the morning of and register. You're gonna get your name badge with your QR code, where people can scan the QR code and learn a little bit more about your business, even from your name tag. That's gonna be amazing. And we're gonna have tables set up here where you get your name badge, your lanyard, and then you go directly into the boardroom. So let's peek inside the ballroom. I'll just go through. So this is the huge ballroom. At the moment, it's got a partition on that side, but the partition will be down. So we'll have the entire ballroom. So imagine 2 rooms about this size. We'll have the entire ballroom. And this wall here also will be down. We'll have about 8 more feet that way. So the capacity for this room is about 72 8-foot wide or 10-foot wide booths. Well, 10-foot and 8-foot wide booths mixed, 72 booths. We'll probably have about 60 booths in this room, and then we'll spill out into the foyer area so that everybody has room for social distancing, and then you don't feel that you're just quite as, tightly packed into the room. Great lighting. The lights right now are low, but the lighting will be full lighting like this chandelier here on the day of. High ceilings, so if you have a tall banner or some sort of signage for your booth, you don't have to worry about height. That's not an issue. We do want to talk about balloons. No hot air balloons or helium balloons are allowed indoors. But that's really the only restriction, per se. You've got plenty of space, so make it your own. Wow. So really, you have all the tools, all the guidance, all the information that you would need to make you feel comfortable and to have a really successful day.